Welcome to Story Chats at Inspi Romance. I'm Elizabeth Madry, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
I'm Narelle Atkins.
Hi, Valerie Comer.
Angela Ruth Strong is back with us again today to talk about her Christmas novella, Christmas Ella. We're going to just read her bio real fast in case you missed it last time. Angela Ruth Strong sold her first romance novel in 2009, and her books have since earned top pick in Romantic Times, been a finalist for the Christie, won the Cascade Award, and become Amazon bestsellers. Her book, Finding Love in Big Sky, released as a movie in 2022. To help aspiring authors, she started the Idaho Writers, where she lives in Idaho. Thanks for being here, Angela.
Hey, thanks for having me. I hope you guys enjoy doing this as much as we enjoy being guests.
I think we do. I don't know that we'd keep doing it if we started not liking it. I think we'd be like, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
One of these days, no, not this week.
No. So we're going to start, as we usually do, by saying, tell us a little bit about Christmas Ella.
Well, I wrote it a few years ago as part of a collection, the Once Upon a Christmas collection, with a few different authors, and we all picked different princesses to rewrite the fairy tale in modern day times. And I picked Cinderella because I'm a big fan of hidden identities.
Okay. I like that too. Very good.
Yes.
All right, Narelle, you want to hit us off?
I will, because that's a nice segue for
It
my
is.
question.
My
question. So I really enjoyed the story. It was great to read. I had a lot of fun reading it. And so my question is, what is it about the Cinderella fairy tale that makes it timeless and easily adapted to a modern day setting with the potential for fractured fairy tale plot and character twists? And at the start of the story, what similarities does Ella share with Cinderella? So let's not give away spoilers. Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah, she is not a servant in the typical tradition, but she is a location director, and she's working on a show called All That Glitters. And so she has to find the location for this reality show with this family that is over the top and very, shallow, vain. Their last name is King, which is what makes them the royalty of the story. And so she's pretty much at their beck and call, which would make her like a modern day servant. And I think the timeless aspect is, I don't know if I can speak for all women, but I love getting dressed up and going to a ball. And I have those days where, I'm scrubbing out my toilets or whatever, and I feel very undesirable and icky. And it's nice just in those moments to dream of a more beautiful time, and like it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Very much. Valerie?
So you did mention slightly there the kind of over the top family. And so we're kind of going to go there for a bit. It was like a caricature almost, hyperbole, like how those sisters of Paxton's were just like beyond. What was your inspiration for making them so beyond?
Well, so I'll tell you my narrator's inspiration, because I thought she nailed the voices. Okay. And her inspiration for the mom, and I don't think you guys listened to it, did you?
No,
okay.
We read it.
It was fun to listen to and hear her bring the characters to life. And for the mom, she watched Schitt's Creek. And I don't know, have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
And it's this really rich family who loses everything except for this little town that they bought as a joke. And trying to fit into normal everyday life when they are over the top, like my characters are. So kind of like caricatures like that is where I got the idea. But I also wanted to give them their own real life fears. And so there's the character whose marriage did not work out with a normal everyday person. And so she just thinks, I can't fit into a normal everyday world, and she doesn't want that for her brother. And then there's the character who's afraid of the media and being made fun of, and so she actually makes fun of other people in the media, kind of like to protect herself. Yeah, it was a few years ago that I wrote it, but I mean, I think we all can think of reality shows where they are a little over the top like that. And it's like, is there any connection to real life? So I would just say that some modern reality shows do portray
Not naming any
people
names.
as caricatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe having a surname starting with K was what
Yes,
came to
that's
my
what I was
mind.
thinking of too.
I actually referenced that in my book, Husband Auditions, but I couldn't actually write the name.
Right.
So every time I
Yes.
used it, it was Kardashian.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
when we're introduced to Reese, we see her standing outside in the snow in a bikini while 2 or 3 guys pour vodka, if I recall, from a window into her mouth.
Yes,
So-
she's taking a shot of vodka from like 3 stories up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, just for those who are watching and listening, when I say over the top,
Yeah.
I kind of mean this is not the kind of person you're just going to run into on an average day downtown in wherever you live. Probably.
Probably. Unless you live in LA.
I suppose. Yeah.
So, okay, so the idea for that one actually came, my husband's motorcycle rider. I won't say biker because they have their own caricatures of bikers.
Everybody does,
But
right?
we were at a biker rally and I did see someone doing that.
Wow. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you're like, that goes in a story.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that had to. All right. So
And then,
oh, yep, go.
well, I was just gonna say another one of the ideas is, I think it was Reese again, where she hopped on the conveyor belt for the luggage at the airport and she was
Yes,
riding round and round. That's actually my own personal dream. Like I'd get fired if I did that because I work at an airport, but I, like watching Liar Liar when he jumps on the conveyor belt is like, man, I want to do that someday. So I was living a little vicariously through.
This will be Angela's exit strategy.
When
from her
when she
current
quits,
job.
it's time to
Right.
retire. You're like, I know I'm going to get in trouble, but
Yes.
Yeah.
And how
And
many
also
federal
slide
fines would you
on
get
the
from that?
airplane? No.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the other sister. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Rachel?
Rochelle.
Michelle.
And
Rochelle, okay.
I had a contest and I actually named her after a character. So in researching for this book, I went to Jackson Hole
Oh.
and okay,
The
so some of
location
the
of the
ideas
story.
came from real life. The Kardashians really did go to Jackson Hole. Kanye has a house out there. He really did want to buy property of like this historic area and tear it down
Oh my
and build his.
goodness.
He really did want to, and when the town would not let him do it, one of those buildings did mysteriously catch on fire. So like some stuff you can't make up.
No.
So what was the question I was answering?
I can't remember, but that was fascinating. No, just a little bit about Rochelle and
Yeah.
the DJ.
The DJ, yes.
Yes. So I was invited out there to speak at a library. So I went out there with a friend and spoke at a library, and I had a contest while at the library to name a character after the winner. And so it was one of the librarians who won the contest. Her name was Rochelle Stranger. I don't even remember how she pronounced it, but yeah, she won. And so I was like, okay, well, what kind of character do you want to be? Do you want to be like a wicked stepmother? Do you want to be? And she wanted to be an evil stepsister.
Well, I hope she's happy with how evil she is.
But the character herself, I did want to show her insecurities. And I've heard that people in the media, when there's always people taking pictures of them, when they talk, they don't want funny pictures of them. Because like if we took a frame from this video right now when I'm talking, I would look pretty funny. So they'll always cover their mouths like this when they talk. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. So she's always like hiding and like whispering and she doesn't really have a voice until she gets online and says nasty things online.
Yeah.
I loved what you did. With her character as as time went on. So go ahead, people, read the book.
Yeah. I do think it's funny
Or
that she's
apparently listen to the audio.
named after a librarian and she doesn't talk. So that's good.
Oh, that's funny. I missed that. Yeah.
The irony.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I love that you had Paxton is a down-to-earth billionaire because they're the best kind. And so how did he turn out so well compared to the rest of his family?
So I actually don't like billionaire stories so much. I know that some people do really well with those.
Mhm.
And that some people enjoy reading the trope because it's fun to think of being rescued by a really rich person. But I personally prefer the down to earth characters. And so Paxton does the work that makes the money for his family. So he's the hard worker. He works, they have mines in Alaska, gold mines, which is where All That Glitters, the show name, comes from. And so he works with down to earth people, blue collar.
Sure.
Yeah. And so and he's kind of tried to stay out of the limelight because he knows his sisters are so out of the top and he loves them, but he learns to love them in a way that calls them out to be better people than just loving their poor choices.
Okay. So if you were to look ahead into the magical future, what do you see for Paxton and Ella? How do you think they're going to manage his family in the years to come? How does that work out in your writer brain?
So I really hate writing epilogues. Like that's my thing. I never read them in books because I want to be able to imagine it however I want to imagine it. And so that's actually a negative review I got on this book is they wanted an epilogue. But I was thinking maybe I could write one and have that as like extra material because I know writers have done that, have that as extra material. So if I were to write an epilogue, they love the area of Jackson Hole, and they have a ski resort there named after them, Snow King, which is a real ski resort. I didn't make that up, so it just kind of fit perfectly. Yeah, that their last name is King. So I see them not in Hollywood. I see them moving there, and the mines are having some issues. So he's probably not going to stay in Alaska. I think they'll stay in Jackson Hole, and she really wants to travel, so maybe she can work on the side for other shows and doing location directing for them and kind of step away from All That Glitters a little bit.
I'm trying to imagine, family gatherings with his family and
her family.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think the dynamics there? How long is it going to take for these people? Or are you planning to write Reese or Rochelle's story? I guess Rochelle's married. We don't want to unmarry her.
No, I hadn't planned to write their stories. That could be interesting. Yeah. But I think we all have family dynamics that are tricky. So they would just have to learn through that.
Yeah. Do you think that it's Cinderella, so we know she ends up with the guy, and in Cinderella they're her stepsisters, not his wicked not stepsister.
Yes.
So it's a fun little twist there. Do you think they just stay evil then? Is that your plan? They stay evil, or they learned? Did they get their hallmark moment when it all unravels and they realize how perfect Ella is for him? Did it do anything? Or are they unteachable?
Yeah, they do get called out, so they are going to have to face their issues, and they're facing them on live TV. Yeah, so that adds another layer. Hopefully they learn from them. I'd like to think they do. Excellent. They're always going to have strengths and weaknesses, as we all do, but hopefully they find some compassion and humanity.
That would be good. Yes. Mm-hmm. Excellent. It is a short novella. And knowing that it was in a box, I didn't realize that prior, makes it make more sense. Like, I wish this was longer.
Oh yeah.
So, but you have an audio.
That's always a good problem to have then.
Yes.
I never want my readers to be like, man, I wish this was shorter.
She could have cut out 5-6 chapters from that.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Well, what do you have going on other than that, writing wise? What's going on with the Angela Ruth Strong publication schedule?
My husband asked me that this morning, and I was like, "Are you prepared for this conversation?" And he's like, "Just put a report on my desk by Friday."
That's excellent.
I'm currently editing Fiancé Finale, which is the third
Yay.
book. They
Yay.
made me add an epilogue for that, which
Oh.
I wasn't excited about, but I do like the epilogue, so I'm happy about that.
Excellent.
Because it kind of sums up all three of their.
Well, because it's
their
the last in
regulations.
the series,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
readers need that. They need that closure.
Or readers think they do, and
Right.
the readers are right. So
Well, yeah.
Yes, so it was a wise request by my editor, and I'm glad that she requested that. I did have fun with that. So that's over. I'm writing a proposal for a flight attendant story
Fun.
based on another short story, even shorter than this one. I think it's under 5,000 words.
Oh, wow.
But we're doing
Oh.
a collection called A New Year's Kiss, and there's a few of us that wrote short stories. So mine is A Heavenly New Year's about a flight attendant, and so now I'm trying to expand that into a full-length story.
Excellent. That's very fun. And
Sounds
so that is one you have yet to propose. It's not purchased or ready to go. or
Right.
anything. Okay.
I'm still working on that. And then another thing I want to do is I'm learning to write screenplays, so I want to try to adapt my stories into screenplays. And this is just a funny side note on Christmas Ella.
Mhm.
I was talking to the screenplay writer of A Christmas Prince. Have you guys
Oh.
seen that?
Yeah.
On
That's a cute
Netflix?
one.
That was a big hit.
Yeah.
And so this was a while ago when I was writing this one, she was actually writing Christmas Ella, a different Christmas Ella as well. So I've been waiting to see if that's going to come out. I'm really curious how she did that one.
Yeah.
and if it doesn't come out, you should, propose
Right.
yours.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say, hey, you want to work together?
Because there's a lot of scenes, like we've talked about that one with Reese and the vodka, that would lend well
I
to the
think so.
screen.
The whole thing would. It's very cinematic, I think.
Mm.
Thanks. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
I have fun
And
with that. I see it
novellas-
in my head.
The novellas tend to be a better length, I think, for screenplays as well, right? Than a 90,000 word novel,
Yeah.
which they're never
Yeah,
going
you have to cut a lot out of a full-length novel for a screenplay.
Cool.
Very cool. What are you thinking you're gonna screenplay-ize? That's a new word. I just made it up first.
I'm going to start with husband auditions.
Yay.
So I've
Okay, I was
already,
hoping.
I've already mapped out how that would work. And then I also want to try one of my kids' books, and I do think this Christmas Ella could be fun. So if this other author doesn't do anything with it, then I might pursue that as well.
Awesome. You got way more stuff to write than time, sounds like.
Yeah.
Standard problem.
Right.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys know.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, Valerie and Narelle, do you have final thoughts on Christmas Ella that you would like to ask? Say.
I'd like to see Reese be a leading lady down the track. I think that would be fascinating to see what you could do with her somewhere
who?
else.
Oh, with
With
Reese?
Reese.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to
Oh.
see Reese get redeemed.
Oh my gosh.
I guess she
I'm
needs
trying
a
to think
fairy
of-
tale, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what
Mm.
fairy tale would fit for her. Any ideas?
I don't know.
Well, given her behavior, she could end up in a coma, so you could do Sleeping Beauty.
Oh no. Oh my
I was
gosh.
thinking somebody might lock her in a tall tower and you could do Rapunzel.
Yes.
So many options. I
Either
love
of
it.
those.
Many.
Either of those. Or I mean, you could do the Frog Prince, get her, because she's so appearance focused and everything, get her in a homely, like a scarred, like he's a former firefighter, or reunite her with her ex, but now he's scarred. See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's now you're on to
Wow,
Beauty and the
okay.
Beast.
Well,
ish.
it's either Beauty and the Beast or Frog Prince, because like frogs are gross. So
I think that's brilliant.
All
right.
Yeah. Now more things that you don't have to right.
Always.
Because didn't you say you had a shortage of ideas?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm sure I heard that somewhere.
All right.
Are you guys?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you guys are reading a bunch of Christmas stories right now this time of year.
I am not, because I am Scrooge, apparently.
Oh.
I don't love Christmas stories. I read a few, but
Okay.
I don't overwhelm myself starting in September and going until the cows come home. But
Okay.
Valerie does.
Oh.
Quite a few.
Valerie
Nice.
stands
I
in
started
Christmas.
I started early in September. So we're recording in December. So I'm going to be switching into what we need to do for the new year for story chats.
Okay.
Post Christmas. Yeah. So we sort of end up reading ahead of the seasons, I've concluded, when we do the podcast.
Makes sense.
It does work that way.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. So I'm kind of eyeing the calendar and going, no, I'm sure I can get 2 or 3 more in before I have to switch gears.
Yeah.
You just don't
very
pay attention
fun.
to it and do what you want. That's okay too.
Yes.
Well, thanks for reading Christmas, Ella. and
Absolutely. It
sharing
was
your
so
thoughts
fun.
with me.
Yes.
So fun.
Yes.
Remind everyone where they can find you.
AngelaRuthStrong.com. And I do want to throw out one more thing. So there is a godmother character in the story, and her name is Betty, and I named her after my grandmother's best friend, Betty, whose granddaughter was the what's the word? The inspiration for Princess Sophia on the Disney Channel.
Really?
Wow.
How fun. That's
Yeah,
very
kind of
cool. You
fun.
have to have kids of the right age to know who Princess Sophia is, but that's adorable. That's
I
very, very
know.
fun.
I did enjoy Betty and
That was great.
and how she came into the story.
Yes. The meet
Oh.
cute was great. Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Angela, for joining us again
Yes.
today. We always love having you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on Story Chats. We would love to know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't read Christmas, Ella, you have time to squeeze it in this season before it's, too late for Christmas
Too
books. Or
late.
if you're someone it's never too late for Christmas books, add it to your pile, because it is absolutely adorable. You can find information about the podcast at inspiromance.com/storychats. And if you are over on YouTube's leaving us a comment, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to fall in love with a good book. Bye.
Bye.
Can't hear you, Angela.
Thanks for having me. I didn't want to interrupt any podcasting there.
You're good.
For our listeners, they don't see your wave. Bye.
Oh,
It was great seeing you today.
Thank you guys.
All right, bye.